Josh Booty, I hope you're doing well. Welcome inside the game here in Tuscaloosa.
Buddy, appreciate you for having me on. I've been running around like crazy, but I'm in your state. I'm in Birmingham and going to a meeting this evening, and happy to be back in the South. You know, I live on the West Coast, so it's fun to be back in the South.
Absolutely, and I didn't realize that you. What are you doing now? Just give us an update.
Yeah, I'm actually a part of a sports management firm out of Orange County, California, C&M Sports. So it's a baseball agency, and so I go out and recruit kids and help to advise them throughout their baseball careers. And I just got into this a few months ago, so it's new to me. I also do a all sports radio show in Southern California from Angel Stadium weekly. So I stay in sports and hopefully going to start recruiting quarterbacks as well and bring on some football players into our agency. But that's what I've been doing, is just all kinds of stuff, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. We're talking to Josh Booty right now. And, Josh, let me just ask you your memories of playing at the University of Alabama, maybe here in Tuscaloosa or back in Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first year was a very, very tough game for me to swallow. Jerry DiNardo was our head coach at LSU, and we came into the game as big underdogs, and it was 1999. You guys had Sean Alexander. I was thinking of some of the guys that you had on the ball club at that time. You had really good football team, and we were down. That year we went 4-7. We mounted a drive at the end of the game. We went all the way down the field, and there was about 4 seconds left on the clock, and I tried to run a quarterback keeper and was stopped on the half-yard line. And I don't know if you remember that ball game, but we lost at the very end of the game. If I run that ball in the end zone, we win the game. And of course, LSU gets the victory, and it would have been a big one for us. The following year, Chancellor Emmert, who's now the president of the NCAA, Mark Emmert was the chancellor at LSU. He brought in Nick Saban in the offseason in '99, and they fired DiNardo. So when Saban came to Baton Rouge, and this is, of course, a long time ago, before he was you guys' head coach here at Alabama, he was with us at LSU, and we had a home game against Alabama in 2000, and we got you guys pretty good. I think we beat you guys 28-17 or something like that. But I was able to kind of redeem myself and win that ball game, and we had a much better year. I think we were 8-3 and went to the Peach Bowl. So it was, Saban helped really jumpstart that program, and LSU's still kind of feeding off of what Saban was able to do. And of course, we had Jimbo Fisher as our offensive coordinator that year, so we had a lot better ball club in 2000 than we did in '99.
Yeah, and going back to that 1999 play, Marvin Constant was the linebacker, and matter of fact, he had probably one of the worst knee injuries in Alabama history on that play. Blew out both ligaments and really never recovered. And we're talking about a guy that was headed to the NFL. He was a big-time linebacker and never really recovered. I see Marvin here in Tuscaloosa. He's still got a limp from that one play.
And I hated it for him. He was such a special player and a great guy. I've heard nothing but amazing things about him. And, I hate that his career ended maybe that way. And, I when I was trying to run that ball in '99, I kind of planted and went back against the grain on him. And we were one-on-one in the open field, and I planted and tried to go back inside and dive over him. And when I did, I think his knee went out, and then another couple of Alabama defenders hit me in the air at the same time, so there was a big collision there. I kind of spun around like, I don't know if you remember John Elway in the Super Bowl, but when he went high-flying and spun around, that kind of happened, and they grabbed my ankles, and I wasn't able to score on the play. But I saw that Constant was hurt on the play as well. So the refs actually were trying to call the clock to stop, and the Alabama officials never saw it, or the guys up in the booth never saw it, and time ran out. But he was you could tell he was hurt before the game was even over, with a few seconds left on the clock.
When you look at Nick Saban from a former player perspective, do you see a lot of similarities, or do you see a lot of growth and a lot of change in Nick Saban?
Man, I'm not around him every day like I was there for for a while, and I'm sure he's super. He's earned his stripes. He's matured, of course. This is 15 years ago when I played for him. He had a lot to prove, and he continues to stay really, really hungry, and you can see it because his recruiting. He's so hungry to always get the best players. He's hungry to be the team that everybody wants to beat. He's hungry to win national championships, and I think that's just a testimony to how bad he wants it and how driven he is to succeed. If you look at the premier athletes, or you can put coaches in that category, he's definitely one of them. A guy like, Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, guys that don't take plays off. Saban just does not take days off, and that's why he's so successful. He's so detail-oriented. We all know it. He is the poster child for college football right now, as being the premier head coach in all of college football, and he's getting paid a lot of money to win championships, and he's doing it.
What do you think motivates him?
I think he wants to be the best ever. We all sit around and talk about, different parts of the country, different great coaches in different parts of the country, like Urban Meyer or, Pete Carroll was at SC, and they created little semi-dynasties at their place. But what he's been able to do at Alabama, and we all knew that Alabama was a giant just kind of waiting to stand up and roar when he took the job, and he came back from Miami. We're like, oh Lord, because the tradition at Alabama is unlike most places. There's only 4 or 5 places in the country that can recruit nationally, have won and the fan base and everything that goes along with what Alabama's all about. There's not many places like that. So when I saw Saban take the job at Alabama, he wasn't going to take a job that he wouldn't know that he could be a winner and win big for a long time. And now the thing is, it's like an avalanche. It's going downhill and picking up steam as it goes, and it's fun to watch.
Right now we're talking with Josh Booty, former LSU quarterback, and we're talking about his playing days at LSU under Nick Saban. When he came in, how quick did you guys buy into this rough and tough, yell and scream type guy? I mean, I know Jerry Nardo, and we've had him on our program. We enjoy conversations, but that transition.
Yeah, just the way when he came in the first day, he said, well, "We're here to win championships," and he set the tone with everything he did. Jerry Nardo worked hard, but he didn't work as smart. His staff wasn't as good. He wasn't as detail oriented. He was a kind of a run only guy. He didn't know the pass game. I think Saban is, and DiNardo was not a defensive guy. LSU really struggled on defense when DiNardo was there. We didn't really have a defensive coach that knew what he was doing. Tepper was there, and he was in and out real quick. And I think that's what Saban brought, was that stingy defense. We practiced hard every day. We competed every day. He threw everything at us on offense every day. So, man, we were so prepared going into a game. We felt like there was nothing we hadn't seen, and we had practiced against the best. And I think that's what, I'm sure that's carried over to what he's done at Alabama. Those guys feel like, hey, we're not only the top recruits in the country, we're all 4- and 5-star kids here, but they practice hard, they train hard, their strength and conditioning program is top-notch, and then it's so hard to beat them. I saw a stat in that championship game last year against Clemson of how many top 300, ESPN top 300 players that they have compared to anyone else in the bowl championship series or the playoff teams, and Alabama had 4 times what everybody else had. So Saban's got the talent there, and they buy in because he just doesn't allow them to even think about losing, and that's where they're just heads above everybody else at this point.
Yeah, he said one time that he fears losing, or he hates to lose more than he likes to win. I mean, he said it publicly in an open forum. I mean, it's crazy. Some of the great ones are like that. I mean, they're motivated by their fear of losing.
No doubt. He has said that, and I've heard him say that. We had Jimbo Fisher, I mentioned, on the same staff. He's the same way. He's cut out of the same cloth, and that's why he's been successful at Florida State. They're not going to allow their teams to lose. Belichick and what he's done in New England. He's had Tom Brady there, but he's had a multitude of different guys in different positions, and kind of different players at different times, and Belichick just continues to win every year. They win 12 ball games, 13 ball games, 14 ball games in the NFL, and that's so hard to do. It's ridiculous. And Saban kind of cloned himself from Belichick. So, it's like I said, it's great for college football. Everybody wants to try to knock down the Bamas of the world, and Bama's just been on top for so long.
I've got about 1 minute here left, and I've got a hard break. My show ends coming up in about 10 minutes, but and I've got to go to break. Josh, if I could go to LSU for this year, they're a team that's got a lot of talent. Does it take a mindset on the offensive change for Cam Cameron and Les Miles to open it up a little bit if this team is going to be an SEC contender and possibly a college football playoff contender?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the big question mark for LSU is balance, and they're effective in the run game until until teams stack the box or it's third and long situation, and you just can't toss dive it and pick up first downs. They've got to be able to be balanced and throw the football. We've got tremendous wideouts at LSU that don't touch the football near enough. We've got 2 6'4" gazelles out there in Doral and Dupree, and I think that's going to be the goal this year, is to get them the football, to take pressure off of Fournette, and also to try to keep him healthy. He shouldn't have to carry the ball 35, 40 times a game. He should carry it 20 to 25 times a game. Brandon Harris has got to pick up some slack, but they've got to have confidence in him to be able to distribute the ball accurately and on time and to the right guy, and I think that's where they've held him back. But LSU, to win a championship, they're going to have to do that, and everybody knows it.
Josh Booty right now, finish up the conversation. Josh, and I'll just tell you this, of where the Alabama players respect this program. To the fans, it will always be Auburn and Tennessee, the biggest rivals. But to the players inside that locker room, it's Alabama-LSU. That is their number one rivalry, because I think it's mutual respect for both of the pro-caliber players.
Yeah, I think so. Both teams have done a wonderful job in recruiting. Both teams have wonderful athletes across the board. I think in the NFL, Alabama and LSU probably have more players in the NFL. I think they've had more top 5 matchups in the last decade than any other two teams in college football. Saban came from LSU. There's so many storylines within that, and I think that's why both teams respect each other. And LSU's 0 for its last 5 against Bama, but this could be the year. LSU's got a great defense. They've, of course, got Fournette. If they can throw the football, they've got Alabama in Tiger Stadium. This is the year. If they're ever going to be able to do it, this would be the year to do it.